Hey everybody, what's going on? Jerome here along with Daisha and Steve, and welcome to this awesome Fortnite Update Day video. We're going to be taking a look at all the different map changes that we could find. We compiled a list of about 11 of our favorite ones, and other than that, if you find any others that we didn't realize, then be sure to comment down below letting us know about them so we can check them out in hopefully a future update video. Welcome. The first thing on the list right now is Loot Lake, or Daisha likes to call it now
Windy Whirlpool.
Windy Whirlpool. It's pretty cool, honestly. So pretty much the cube is back in action after it melted into the lake. It then reformed into a cube and picked up the island up there. You're probably wondering how exactly you can get up there. It's super easy. You just walk towards it, and once you get inside the whirlpool, it'll launch you up to the top of the floating island. So it's a pretty cool little thing, just like this. See, you can kind of like dance around it. It also picks up golf carts, shopping carts, things like that, so you can pull off some crazy moves if you wanted. And then you are up and on top. Now, in terms of all the weapon and loot down below, there's tons of loot all around it, so it's a great area if you want to get some early looting done. However, you're probably going to run into a lot of players. Once you're up top here, everything is relatively speaking unchanged. So the house itself is surprisingly alive and well. You would think it would get destroyed, but it actually didn't. I don't think there's any change really in the slightest. No? Yeah, it looks relatively
Even the garbage
the same.
bags are in the same spot.
Yeah, like it's still old and decrepit. Yeah, there's really not much going on there. The biggest changes, I suppose, are to, obviously, the surrounding area of it, where, you know, beforehand there was water, and now it's just dried up lake juice. So that happened. But other than that, overall, Loot Lake finally, I would say, earns its name, and is definitely more of a hub for finding loot. And I think that's pretty much the end-all, be-all of it. Last but not least, in terms of strategizing for if you're a competitive player, you would think that the lower water means that you can walk fast. However, you walk at, relatively speaking, up top here, the same pace that you would anywhere else in water. So down here, you're fine, but as soon as you get up to the outer rims of Loot Lake, it's back to normal. You're walking slow and really not getting anywhere anytime fast. Alright, now on to the second coolest thing I'd say in the update, and that is the shadow zones. Now, if you look at the minimap here, there are a bunch of shadow zones all around the map. Some below Lazy Links, one in Wailing Woods, one below Retail Row, one near Dusty Divot, one north of Fatal Fields, and one next to Shifty Shafts, as well as this one near Pleasant Park. Now, it's called the Shadow Fields because what you can do is you can go into shadow form by picking up these cubes that are in all of those locations. So you consume the cube, much like the gravity crystals that they had back in the prior season, and with this, if you stand still, you go almost completely invisible. From there, you can also go ahead and you can left click to lunge or phase through things. So for instance, rocks like this, you can phase right on through, and you can also fly as well, which is something I discovered. So if you keep on spam clicking, you just keep going up and up and up. However, be careful because you only get this for 45 seconds, and then once you're done with it, you will take fall damage. So definitely not something to mess around with. Last but not least, a really cool feature about Shadow Form, which is probably going to be fixed soon, we think, because we think it's a bug, but you can actually go ahead and phase inside of objects like this rock, and literally you're just completely invisible because you're inside of it. Now, once you become a regular form, if you're inside of an object, the object ends up exploding. But what's supposed to happen is, if you take it right here, I can show you, you're supposed to phase directly through items. So like for instance, this tree, boom, supposed to do like that. But instead, if you time it just right, you can get right on inside and, well, yeah, I think you could tell this is not how things are supposed to be. Although all the zones are slightly different in appearance, everything about them is relatively the same, so we're all going to cover this one. Pretty much, though, you just find shadow crystals around, a decent amount of loot, and some chests, and they're definitely worth stopping by to at least see what all the hype's about. Now on to one of the largest changes the map has seen, Captive Castle. It's not actually called that, that's what Daisha calls it, but now it's stuck in my head, and I can't not call it Captive Castle, so that's what we're going with. Welcome to the castle, though, everyone. It's really cool. It is right outside of Haunted Hills, and it kind of earns that title as well, because if you look, it's basically like a cemetery slash castle slash haunted mansion. You even have like a bat statue on the way inside, but there's not too much to see, honestly, in terms of the castle itself. You would think it'd be great for loot, and it really isn't that good. Like, this isn't a place that I would even recommend dropping outside of just for the sake of seeing it and just, you know, taking part in what's a cool new place and event. But other than that, in terms of places you can go inside of the castle, you can obviously explore upstairs as I just showed you all. Down here is where most of the loot that you'll find is. You got a chest over there, chest inside of this room as well, and you also have some pretty cool spots, like, for instance, let me just go and put that down here, and you go up top here, and you can kind of use that to your advantage, I guess. But overall, not too much going on there. One other cool feature as well is in all of these towers, you can actually go down them just by breaking the ground. So you break the first floor of it like that, and then, boom, you have a way down to the very, very bottom of it, and you can head on out at the bottom, like down here. Alright, next but not least, we have the super villain layer. Now, the super villain layer and the superhero layer both underwent a similar change where they're starting to fall apart and becoming decrepit. I guess to be fair, that was like 2-3 seasons ago that this actually was relevant, so I guess they're trying to find a way to phase it out, or maybe it'll have some kind of a newly found use. I'm not really sure, but as you can see, some of the windows are literally boarded up, which that's nice. At least, you know, before the villains left this place, they decided to board it all up and all that. But there's spider webs everywhere, and pretty cool is for the first time ever, we have chests that, instead of being flat on the ground, are planted on the wall. I mean, obviously thanks to all these spider webs around it, but we've never experienced anything like that before. It's nothing crazy, but it is a fun little visual glitch, especially in lieu of Halloween being right around the corner.
You have to look at the you have to look at this over here. Look at the coolers and stuff. There's stuff too.
Ooh, that's cool actually. See, I like that a lot. Oh, I broke one. Ooh, I broke it.
Stuck.
Ooh, broke it. I have borked it. Now, the big question is, do you think in the future they'll have some kind of a new item that lets you climb up walls like that?
Ooh.
Am I just talking crazy?
Spider-Man?
So most of the architectural things are still in here. Like, as for instance, through this wall, you still have what used to be the bedroom and a secret chest in there. And then down here as well, you just kind of have this little area here where the rocket used to be. However, it doesn't really serve much of a purpose outside of that. Now, like I said, I think the most cool part about this is simply that the chests are planted on the wall. It sounds like a small change, however, mechanically could lead to some interesting changes in the near future. So, whether or not they do anything with that new mechanic, we'll see, but it exists. Now on to everyone's favorite area, Tilted Towers. Now, Tilted Towers didn't have that much of a change to it. We'll show you in a second. However, there is one cool thing they added here, as well as in a few other locations around the map, and that are these things that look like speakers. Coolest part about it, though, is that if you dance, it lights up for you, like a dance floor. And they have these all around the map, so go check them out in other locations. Let us know which ones you find for this. But of course, that's not the only change going on with Tilted. There is one other one. Our favorite building in the world, the one that always gets destroyed. Poor building, honestly, it just keeps getting demolished. They rebuilt it, got demolished again, and now finally they actually did something with it. So if you don't remember from the end of last season, the cube crushed the building and made a clean slice. Now the building's kind of falling apart a little bit more, and as you can see all around it, they brought these wood fences all back around, so it looks like they're getting ready to rebuild the building yet again, and I'm sure that something is going to destroy it again. Now, also over here, it used to be like really clean and natural looking, this part of the building. It still had the backdrop for the golf cart store. However, that fell over, and now it's just kind of looking decrepit. Honestly, it's pretty much falling apart. So, they did a little bit more detail on this building after it got crushed by the cube, but other than that, though, there's really no other changes to Tilted. Alright, so we're going on to Fatal Fields now, and a huge map change here is that they finally added in something with the corn. So these poor farmers have been waiting season after season for their cornfields to grow, and it finally has happened. So let me show you a little bit how to use these to your advantage. For the most part, obviously, as you can tell, they are great for hiding in. Make for some actually terrifying moments, I gotta say, because I played a little bit of pub matches earlier and kind of got terrified. But you can land inside of it like this, and look at that. When you crouch down, like, you are essentially invisible.
Can you imagine how many game modes we could do with this?
Oh, I know. There's gonna be some really fun, crazy game modes.
We can make a maze inside of this, can't we?
Yeah. Well, that's the cool part about it,
gosh.
Daisha, as well. If you break it like that, it actually opens up and makes like a legit maze. Like, look at that.
Oh, we could wait, there's a chest in here?
Oh, I'm sure there is, yeah. There's chests all over the place in here. And not only that, but they also added in these really cute little ghost toys like that lying around for Halloween. So, looks like Fortnite's really getting in full swing of the Halloween spirit. But overall, like Daisha said, there's so many cool things you could do with this. Whether or not you do it in a pub match and you just hide in there to scare people, or if you play with your friends on Playgrounds mode and make up your own game modes, a lot to be done with these cornfields. Alright, next on our list is one of the cutest changes to the map, and that is the Hey Boo store. So if you hop inside of this store, it is literally just a Halloween shop that has some cool little things, like for instance when you stand near the witch, she starts to make laughing noises and lights up, and it's really cute. And besides that, just all sorts of funny ghosts and props and all things you'd expect to see for a Halloween shop. So really small change, very just visual based, nothing really like layout wise has changed. However, I think it's a cute little update, and I like it. I think it's funny. And plus, look, you can see some people, like there's Ben right there, and then that pumpkin right there, that is Andrew. You can't even tell me that that's not Andrew.
This one's Austin.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh my gosh, that is
Austin.
Austin.
This one's me.
Oh my god, that actually does. Oh wow, where's me? Anything? Oh, look at that one right there. Look at the size of that nose. That's me.
Oh yeah, this one? Oh yeah, look at that nose.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep, that's totally me.
This one looks like me.
Yeah, that one's Steve,
Actually, that does look like Steve. Alright, next on the list, welcome to the superhero layer. And just like the supervillain layer, it is looking pretty destroyed. It's definitely seen better days. So there's ivy all over it now. The building is completely just falling apart. It looks just atrocious. You can head on upstairs here, and you can see there's literally like a hole directly through the ceiling. And overall, it's just not looking pretty. In terms of loot, though, it has about the same amount of loot. So luckily enough, the loot hasn't changed. So if this is like a place you like to land when you play competitively, probably still keep doing it. Nothing really changes there. Down here, you have the same structural layout. You even have this area right here that goes out to the sea. So that's really cool. And also, very interesting enough, it's a good vantage point to see one of the most interesting changes I found that they made, which is to the surrounding area. So beforehand, most of it just looked like an ocean that went on forever and there were some islands. Now, all around the map in a big circle, you could see there's land, which leads me to believe that less of an ocean is around us and more that we're kind of an island in the middle of a lake. It's an interesting theory. I don't know. I'm sure someone will debunk it soon because, well, they always do. But other than that, though, this is the falling apart superhero layer. All right, now for some of the big changes to Wailing Woods that have happened. As you know, Wailing Woods pretty much hasn't gotten much love at all in the last few seasons. And now, being this one is heavily themed around Halloween and just spooky horror type things, it obviously definitely got a facelift. So the first thing to note is that there are now a couple houses all around Wailing Woods. They're pretty cool. They're honestly mostly like this, log cabin style. There's usually about one, maybe two chests in each house and a couple of drops as well. So it definitely adds a little bit of life there. However, the biggest and coolest thing to note, besides a shadow field that's in here, is beneath the main maze area. So if you go through the maze and get over to that outpost there, underneath it, there's a secret now. So they finally did something there where, let me just go ahead and get on to it. So you go over here and take a look at this. You go inside and underground,
wow,
there's a secret layer.
This grass looks lovely, Jerome.
Yeah, it does,
Grass.
doesn't it?
What's wrong with the grass?
Yeah, this grass around here looks lovely. Did you not see that the roof was painted green to look like grass?
I actually didn't know. Let me see.
Yeah, up here, the roof is painted green to look like grass.
Oh, right here. Yeah, that. So the important part about this that makes it really cool is that it obviously is going to have some kind of impact to the storyline. The reason why I say that is because, unlike most things that are just visual map changes, this one has something interesting in it. So over here, there's a rift inside of what appears to be like a scientific ray gun chamber, which leads me to believe that the rifts are actually man-made. At least some kind of scientist is making them down here as well. So maybe they're naturally formed and some mad scientist is trying to learn how to harness that power. Maybe they were always made by some mad scientists. Either way, we have what appears to be a man-made rift at the bottom of Wailing Woods. So very interesting. But like I said, explore it for yourself and let us know in the comment section if you have any theories of your own, because as theories go, they're just theories. There's no way to really prove them until, well, Fortnite comes out and says it's true. Yep.
So Jerome, they finally built you a home here in Lazy Links.
All right.
If
Let's
you look
see.
over here, you can see it over the hill. You see this little tiny... Steve, stop it. Look, you see this little tiny 1x1.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
Look,
so
it's your home, Drum.
this is where I live now? Are you sure I get this honor?
Look, you got a bed.
Oh, there's a ton.
With 3 chests in here. You got a kitchen and you got some windows. Look at this lovely view. You get this perfect view.
Exactly. So yeah, this is like a very basic house, everyone. However, like Daisha just said, it's got 3 chests in it, and we played in multiplayer as well earlier today, like online, and it wasn't just in playground mode, it had 3 chests in it there too. Now, obviously, it's not always going to have 3 chests, but it seems like it has a high probability of having that many chests in there. So pretty cool. A very small map feature, but definitely one to keep in the back of your mind for when you're playing.
I also think it's really cool and weird that it's actually made of like the metal that we use for like structures in the game. But it's like, I didn't build this. It was actually like this.
Yeah, so funny enough, when we saw it, Daisha honestly thought that one of us had made it, and then she didn't notice until there were chests inside. She was like, oh wait, no, like, no one made this. Like, that was... So when we were doing some exploration earlier today, that's what happened. But either way, everyone, I think this is the perfect place to call it quits. Those were the changes that we found. I think we covered most of them. Every single one we could find anyway in about an hour or 2 of searching that we did. But let us know if you think we missed any of them in the comment section down below. Apart from that, take care, everyone. Peace out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow with some more Fortnite.